What do you think that private message was?
Well, Carl, if it's anything like what we've seen, it's a lot of bluster but no action. Look, during the Biden administration, we've seen Iran receive over $80 billion in illicit oil sales, and it's gone up over 400%. I've been leading the charge on the House Financial Services Committee to hold Iran accountable so that it stops these second-tier terrorist groups like Hamas, like the Houthis, from receiving money directly from the Iran Revolutionary Guards Corps, which really funds their operation, including those high-end missile systems and radars that were struck by U.S. and British forces. It's very important that not only do we respond with force here, but that we enforce the sanctions that we already have. In fact, we've got people right here in the United States who are funding the insurance programs for this ghost fleet of Iranian oil tankers going out that the Biden administration could stop today. But if we're not going to address the root of the problem, Iran financing these terrorist groups, we're going to continue to see strikes on U.S. interests in the Gulf of Aden, where I've flown combat operations, as well as in Israel, in Gaza, in West Bank, and certainly in Lebanon, as a direct result of a failure of leadership action to crack down. And as you're pointing out, hundreds of strikes on U.S. forces and interests right there in the Middle East where we've served.
Yeah, Congressman, I got to get this in here because former UN weapons inspector David Albright recently said something very scary. He said today Iran would need only about a week to produce its first nuclear weapon. It could have enough weapons-grade uranium for 6 weapons in a month, and after 5 months of producing weapons-grade uranium, it could have enough for 12. Is it too late to put the genie back in the bottle at this point? What can be done now to prevent this?
No, strong U.S. leadership has the ability to immediately address this issue. We've got to be able to enforce sanctions. We've got to have a strong military presence, as we've seen most recently from carrier strike groups in the region. But we have to recognize that Iran is the source of the problem, not a secondary effect here. And so if we want to just address the issues in, Hamas and the Houthis, we're not addressing the real source of the problem, and that's making sure the Ayatollah and the folks in Tehran know that they need to stop this immediately, and the United States and our allies are going to hold them accountable in the region.